this week? Because it was back to school, right? So I guess you guys have been doing that a lot this week. I'm going to introduce myself. Thanks, Walter, for introducing yourself. My name is Mr. Abel. You guys don't know me much because you don't see me in Sunday school, but my name is Mr. Abel. That's what we're going to go with this morning, all right? Mr. Abel. You can call me Mr. or Master, whichever. Mr. Abel is fine. How are you guys doing? Good? Yeah? Have you ever talked into a microphone?
Yes.
Yeah? Do you like talking into microphones?
No.
Yeah? You want to talk into a microphone? Hello.
It's good to be good in any place.
That's right. It's good to be good any place. You got to be good any place. What I want to do this morning is ask you guys a little bit about your back to school week. How did you guys do? How was school? First, I want to hear some of the names of your school. A little shout out for your schools. David, what's the name of your school?
Kindergarten Public School.
Kindergarten Public School. Shout out for Kindergarten Public School. Anybody know the name of Amanda? What's the name of your school? Parents, please tell your children the names of your schools. Thank you. Anybody know the name of your school?
Hamilton.
Yeah, for that one. Yeah. All right, for that one. We're there, so we're good. What's the name of your school?
James Coleman Catholic School.
James something or other Catholic School. All right, we're there. We're there. You guys were back to school this... I know Raquel wants to tell me the name of her school.
John F. Christian School.
John F. Knox Christian School. Woo! I like it. I like it. So, how did you guys do? How was the first day? Did you meet some new teachers, some new friends? Yeah? Do you have a new friend? Do you have somebody's name that you met this week just for the very first time? Just tell me one name.
Fatima.
Fatima. That's good.
Deseo.
Dale. Anybody else meet somebody for the first time this week and make friends? Yeah?
Zena.
Zaina. Wow, pretty names. Yes, Atia.
Kelly.
Kelly. Okay, and you're friends now this week? Excellent, excellent. Now, did you want to say something, Kathy?
Akila.
Aquila. That's not like a Kuna Matata. It's Aquila. That's a different one. So, you guys have met some new people, but I want to ask you something. Were you nervous at all? No? Alfredo, you weren't nervous? What were you looking forward to most at school?
I'm in grade 8. My school is actually from junior kindergarten to grade 8, and my school actually moved. And we're sharing a school with a French public school, and mostly we have lockers and stuff. And we still have the same people, most of the same people from last year. And actually, my class actually had a new student on Thursday, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
his name was Ronaldo.
Wow, the Ronaldo? Or just want to be Ronaldo?
No, his name is Ronaldo, but he's not the
Okay.
Ronaldo. So.
Okay, just checking, just wanted to know. Now, did anybody feel nervous before going back to school this first day? No? You guys were all looking forward to school? What did you want to say? Oh, no. You didn't feel nervous? You did feel nervous, right? What did you feel the first day of school?
I was nervous because of the learning.
Nervous because of learning, sure. I get nervous all the time because of learning. Oh, sorry, Marcos, what did you want to say? What did you feel? Did you feel nervous the first day? What were you worried about the most? This is CNN.
Well, the nervous thing is that you have to meet a lot of new people.
Yeah.
And new teachers.
Yeah.
And you get no recess.
No recess? Oh, we gotta talk to your teachers about that. When do you go outside?
Only at lunch.
Only at lunch? Thank goodness they're giving you lunch at least, right? Okay, we're good with that. Did anybody, when you guys were up at recess at schoolyard, did anybody tease you guys or make fun of you guys, or you're making friends everywhere? First week, everybody's making friends. What's that, Amanda?
Some people made fun of my friends and her name is Miriam.
Oh.
And some people were going inside. Some people pushed her and she fell down.
Oh.
And everybody went inside except for her.
Wow, it's a tough place, school sometimes, isn't it? Don't you guys feel like sometimes it's hard to get into school and put up with all those things? I'm not going to ask that crowd. You guys are just sitting over there, just kind of cool, chilling, relaxing. These are other young people. They're a little bit older young people, so they're going to give me cool answers maybe later. So was anybody? Let's see. What other questions can I ask you guys? Did you like your teachers? Yeah, most of them. Yeah.
I got about 6 new teachers at my school.
Wow. Into the school.
Yeah.
So you never knew them before.
No, because most of the teachers, they retired or they had to move away.
Oh, good. Some of the retired ones need to go. Yeah.
I love all my teachers.
You love all your teachers? Are they giving you something to say this? No? You love all your teachers. That's amazing. That's really good. Because sometimes even teachers can make school a little bit difficult. Does everybody like their teachers, or do you guys have some problems with some teachers? Hey, Maddie, what did you want to say?
I like my school and my teachers,
Yeah.
and some teachers moved. So, my sister is in a different school right now, and now I'm sad because she used to give me hugs and pick me up.
Where's your school, Maddie?
A little far away from my house.
Okay. Somebody's going to have to give you a hug, I think. I'm going to call you to school. I'm going to call your teacher and give her a hug. Is that okay? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But that's too sad. See, sometimes it's sad going into school. We're used to certain things. We've been used to certain things during the summer. Were you guys all home during the summer? Were you guys doing all cool things during the summer? Yeah? Well, and then you got to go to school, and you got to start up a routine, and you got to get used to new teachers. Some of you might have been nervous. Was anybody afraid of going to school the first day? Yeah, right? Maybe having to walk to school and meet all your friends. Did anybody feel lonely the first day? Yeah, exactly. Like Marty said, right? You guys didn't feel lonely. You're never lonely. Yeah, friends, all the time. We're party. No. So sometimes you guys go through a lot going back to school. Today, we're going to talk about 3 young people, just a little bit older than you guys, who might have experienced some of the same feelings that you guys were experiencing when you went back to school. I don't know if you guys know their names. Have you ever heard of Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah? Ever heard of those guys? No. And that's right, because that's why we're going to talk about them this morning. Yes, the translation, Sadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, but before they were Sadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were different names. Now, do you guys know what happened to them? Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what might have happened to them. They experienced some of the same feelings you guys had, and you know what? We're going to talk about, what did we sing earlier this morning? His promise is forever, it will never change, right? We sang about that, and we sang about our God being greater. Well, guess what? They knew who God was. They realized that God was with them, and in spite of some of those feelings they had and might have experienced, God was with them. Do you know if God is with you?
Yeah.
Yeah? How do you know that God is with you? He's in your heart? Okay. Anybody else? Maddie's really confident. Do you see God? Do you see God? No? Then how do you know He's with you other than Maddie saying He's in our hearts? Yes, sir.
And He's in heaven. When we see Him, that means He's in heaven.
Okay.
We're going to see Him in heaven, and He's in our hearts. And when He's not around us, that means He's not heaven already.
Okay. That's an interesting explanation. We'll have to look into that one a little deeper, but I'm going to try to see if I can give you an illustration of a way of knowing how God is with us because of His promises, okay? So, I'm going to ask for a really brave, courageous person. Really brave, courageous person. Anybody? Anybody? You're brave and courageous? Matthew, you're brave and courageous? You sure? Come on up. Everybody give Matthew a hand. Ready? Just prepare yourself. Hi, Matthew. How are you? You talk quite a bit, so you sound like a brave guy. You sound like you're pretty confident. You're also tired? Oh, okay. Thanks for letting us know. So what I'm going to get you to do, Matthew, come on over here. Whoa, watch the mic. Okay. Okay. You sure you want to do this? Really? Do you go to Wonderland a lot?
Yeah.
Do you ride the rides, the really scary rides? Yeah? Okay, so I think you're perfect for this role. What's it? Look, you didn't flinch. You're perfect for this. You know you might get hurt. Do you think you'll get hurt? Are you getting nervous now? Excellent. Okay, listen. I promise that what you're going to do right now is not going to hurt you. Okay? You're okay with that? You still want to do it? Okay, here we go. I'm going to ask my assistant, do you mind if you're blindfolded doing this? You don't mind. Okay, Matthew's kind of, we're not sure if Matthew's alive or not. He might be just walking and talking. Matthew, still with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, can you see anything?
No.
You sure? Okay. Come on up. Come on up here. Just take a step right here. Matthew, right there. Just one step. Perfect. I promise that whatever happens, you're not going to get hurt, okay? You sure? You still sure? You still want to do this? Okay. Listen, I'm going to give you some instructions. Are you feeling a little nervous? You're just laughing. You're enjoying every minute of this. That's good. What I'm going to give you to do is going to give you some instructions, and then I want you to follow through with them, okay? So I want you to cross your arms on your chest. Okay? I want you to keep your legs straight. And then I want you to fall back when I say so. When I say so. You sure you want to do that? You trust me, Matthew? Now you don't trust me? Wait a second. A second ago you were all brave and talked. You sure you want to do this? The floor is pretty soft. It's a thick carpet. Not. It feels hard? Yeah. Well, so when you do that, when I tell you to do that, you're going to do it, right?
Yeah.
I promise you won't be hurt. Okay? How you feeling? Fine. You're not nervous?
No.
You're not queasy?
No.
Okay, here we go. You ready? Wait, have a sense. Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to step over here, and then you're going to fall backwards, okay?
It sounds like you're in front of me.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So, you ready to fall backwards? You're going to keep your legs straight and your arms folded, okay? When I count to 3, you're going to fall backwards, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoa. You're a chicken. You're a chicken. You stepped down. You didn't have faith in me, did you? You didn't have faith in me. You stepped down. Are you going to do it this time? Listen, I promise you're not going to get hurt. Okay? You sure? Keep your legs straight. When I count to 3, drop backwards, okay? 1, 2, 3. Chicken. Okay, do my amplifier. Matthew didn't really trust me. But when we depend on God's promises, when God promises something, that's how we know that He's going to be with us. Because when God promises something, He never fails. Matthew didn't trust me much, did he? That's okay. I'm not really that trustable sometimes. But when God gives His promises, you better trust in Him. Bring this down a little bit. So let's get back to the story of Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Now they were taken from Jerusalem, and they were taken by another person, another king who was enemy to them. His name was Nebuchadnezzar. Okay? They were taken, and guess what? Their names were changed. They were taken from Jerusalem and put into the service of King Nebuchadnezzar, and their names are changed. Has anybody ever called you a name in school? No? Ever? Okay, let me tell you my sad story. My sad story. You know what? Before you guys knew me as Mr. Abel, okay? My name was just Abel. Okay? So in school, get ready. You ready for this? I didn't have one silly name. I had many silly names. Ready? Abel Table. Abel Cable. Abel Fable. Abel, I don't get this one. Navel? I don't get that. Yeah, all kinds of silly names. I didn't have one, I had a bunch. You know, they would come up to me and say, "Are you ready, willing, and..." And I get that too, right? And then when you're in church, all this funny church people, they go, "Who's your brother, Abel? Is it King?" And I'm supposed to laugh. Like, that's funny, right? So I got a bunch of silly names. Well, imagine, they weren't just teased. Their names were actually changed. And their names changed to something different completely than what it meant before. King Nebuchadnezzar wanted to control them, and he wanted to have them do things that they wouldn't want to do before. And so he changed their names. Now, the story that we're going to read now is in chapter 3 of Daniel. If everybody has their Bible, I want you to turn to chapter 3 of Daniel. If you have your Bible, you can turn to chapter 3 of Daniel. What I'm going to read you is a different kind of story than what you might be reading in your Bibles, okay? So just to make sure you guys are following with me, we're going to start with Daniel chapter 3. Okay, want to do something? I want to make sure that you guys are following me, and that's going to include you guys as well, okay? So when I say Nebuchadnezzar, you guys are going to go, boo, okay? Let's try that. Nebuchadnezzar? Boo. Excellent. When I say important leaders, you're going to go, ooh. Okay, can you do that? Important leaders. Can we do something over here? Ooh. Okay, important leaders? Ooh. Okay, when I say the band, you guys are going to do da-da-da-da loud. Okay, the band. Good job, good job. This is why I like speaking to you guys and not to them. When I say Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you guys are going to say, yay! Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. Yay! Awesome. And when I say, listen to this one, okay? When I say the God, you guys are going to go say, awesome. Or if you feel better, you can say, awesome. Whichever you prefer. Okay? So try me out. The God. Awesome. I like it. I like it. You guys are awesome. Okay, so let's start reading in Daniel chapter 3, verse 1 to 3, okay? Here it goes. You guys are ready, right? You're going to follow along, and you're going to do everything as you said you would, right? King Nebuchadnezzar built a gold statue, 90 feet high and 9 feet thick. He set it up on the Dura plain in the province of Babylon. He then ordered all the important leaders in the province. Thank you. Everybody who was anybody to the dedication ceremony of the statue. They all came for the dedication. All the important people. All the important people. And took their places before the statue that Nebuchadnezzar had erected. Good, good. A herald then proclaimed in a loud voice, attention everyone, every race, color, and creed, listen. When you hear the band, strike up all the trumpets and trombones, the tubas and baritones, the drums and cymbals, fall to your knees and worship the gold statue that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up. Anyone who does not kneel and worship shall be thrown immediately into a roaring furnace. The band started to play. A huge band equipped with all the musical instruments of Babylon. And everyone, every race, color, and creed, fell to the knees and worshipped the gold statue that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Good. Have you ever seen any gold statues around here? Anybody seen any gold statues around here? Wait a second. Why is it the two sisters have seen gold statues? You guys have seen gold statues? Yeah? Where?
I seen it in the museum when I was in kindergarten.
Was it a really big... Was anybody like dropping to their knees and going, oh, worshiping it or anything like that? No, right? We don't see that much today. In your neighborhood, do you see people dropping down on their knees and worshiping statues or anything like that? No? I don't think so. You do? Come on. Sorry, I missed it. So, what do you guys think? I was trying to think, well, we don't have statues, these big golden statues nowadays. What do you guys think? Anybody think of anything that's really big nowadays that costs a lot of money, that when even like maybe like when music plays or anything, people go worship, perhaps not worship, but pay a lot of attention to? Yes, David.
If you want to buy something for your house, it would cost a lot of money.
It would cost a lot of money if you wanted to buy something for your house. Matthew?
An elephant.
An elephant, if they saw an elephant, people worship elephants. I've seen...
No, not worship them. Pay attention to them.
Oh, if you...
Listen to music.
Oh.
It costs a lot of money to own one.
To own an elephant, I would bet it costs a lot of money. You're right. But I was kind of thinking of some other things that might be a little bit more familiar to you guys, that you guys maybe are more familiar with, that maybe when you even like hear music, you start to think of kind of what's going on. And a lot of people tend to gather at these places, and there's a lot of money that goes into it. And, you know, sometimes it's like everybody gathers there and everybody knows everything about it. And things like, you know, they sing the songs from it. They know the song. They know what they have to do. I was trying to think of something. Can you guys think of anything? I can't really think of anything that happens like that. What? What did you, what?
It went away.
I know, but what did you see?
You put a lot of movies up there with that button.
With that button there, I put a lot of movies. Thanks for giving away my trick, man. So you see a lot of movies. Those kinds of things are really familiar to you guys. Don't you guys think it's kind of similar? You hear the music from those movies and you instantly know what it's about. Or you hear something and you instantly know what it's about. They cost a lot of money. They draw a lot of people. They draw your attention. And sometimes we forget how really powerful these things are. Have you ever felt pressured to do what everybody else is doing? Wear what everybody else is wearing? Drink what everybody else is drinking? Eat what everybody else is eating? You know? Have you guys ever felt pressure like that? Do you think at school that happens? No? You guys don't feel pressured at all in that way, huh? What about the older youth? You guys need to put up an image? Do you guys ever have to kind of like show a certain brand or something like that? Have you ever felt like that? Sometimes we feel like we're being moved along. We feel like we're being pressured into things. We hear what other people or other kids at school are saying, what they're wearing, what they're doing, and we feel like we need to be part of it. Let's see what our friends, by the way, our friends Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, their names were changed to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego when they went to Babylon. So let's see what our friends did, okay? Daniel chapter 3, verse 8 to 12. Just then, some Babylonian fortune tellers stepped up and accused the Jews. They said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, "Long live the king. You gave strict orders, O king, that when the big band started playing, that everyone had to fall to their knees and worship the gold statue. And whoever did not go to their knees and worship it had to be pitched into a roaring furnace. Well, there are some Jews here, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, whom you have placed in high positions in the province of Babylon. These men are ignoring you, O king. They don't respect your gods, and they won't worship the gold statue you set up." So Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego had decided they weren't going to worship that statue that had been erected. They weren't going to worship it. They already decided, we won't bow. Everybody else was bowing. Everybody else was doing that. But they decided, no, we're not going to do it. You know what? Sometimes when we take a stand for God and we decide to do something for Him, you know what? Sometimes it's going to draw attention to us, whether it be good or bad. And when I say bad, it means that perhaps you're going to go through a difficult time. You're going to have a hard time. People aren't going to understand you. But be very aware, when you do something for God, sometimes people are going to take notice, whether for good or bad. Let's keep reading. It's not working very well, eh? Okay. Maybe I'll let the guys out back do it. Wow, it's really bad. Okay, we went too far now. Oh, way too bad. We're going to go to the next one, guys. 9 to 12, I think. Can you move it, Abel? Down, next one. Forward, para adelante. Yeah, thank you. Furious, King Nebuchadnezzar ordered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to be brought in. When the men were brought in, Nebuchadnezzar asked, "Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you don't respect my gods and refuse to worship the gold statue that I have set up? I'm giving you a second chance. But from now on, when the big band strikes up, you must go to your knees and worship the statue I have made. If you don't worship it, you will be pitched into a roaring furnace, no questions asked. Who is the God who can rescue you from my power?" Good. What would you do? What would you do if you were put in that? How would you react? What would you do? Do you think at your schools you're going to have some difficult situations? I'm not going to get any answers right now. I just want you guys to think about it. Do you think you guys at school would have some difficult situations that would be pushing you to act a certain way? Do you think you have maybe some Nebuchadnezzars in your schools that might be telling you to do certain things certain ways? Yeah?
Yeah, some of the girls in my class, they wear certain brands of clothes and they keep telling people, you should wear this and that. One day I told my mom,
we should go buy us an Abercrombie shirt. I went to go see if I could get one, and apparently they're only for skinny girls. Like, they're not one.
Yeah, exactly. The world wants us, sometimes these brands and these styles, they want us to conform to something. Do you ever feel pressure to do things that don't honor God? Don't answer, sorry. Don't answer at this point. Sometimes we have King Nebuchadnezzars in our lives that will put us to the test. And we're going to be put and asked in front to answer to certain things. And we're going to be pressured to do what perhaps doesn't honor God. Think about that. Who is the God? Awesome. Who can rescue you from my power? That's what King Nebuchadnezzar asked. Yeah. Next one. There we go. Listen to the answer that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Say again. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Yeah. Answered King Nebuchadnezzar? Your threat means nothing to us. If you throw us in the fire, the God we serve can rescue us. Awesome. Can rescue us from your roaring furnace and anything else you might cook up, O King. But even if he doesn't, it wouldn't make a bit of difference, O King. We still wouldn't serve your gods or worship the statue you set up. Let's look into what Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego told the King Nebuchadnezzar. Your threat means nothing to us. If you throw us in the fire, the God we serve can rescue us. I want to stop right there. The God we serve. Do you know that God? Do you know that God that we sang about this morning? Who said, our God is stronger, our God is greater. God, you are higher than any other. Do we know who that God is? Do we really understand him? Just like Matthew was showing this morning, do we have faith in him? Or do we kind of slip our foot off that first step and go, whoa, I'm not totally sure, God. I don't really know you that much. I'm going to slip my foot off. I'm not going to really fall back in faith in you. Do we really know that God? The God that says, I will be with you. His promises are forever. They will never change. That's what we sang this morning. Do you know that God? And the other thing is that the God they serve. Do you relate to God? Do you have a relationship with God? Do you know what it is to have a relationship with God? Do you understand what it is to have time with him and spend time with him? The God we serve. That's who Shadrach and Meshach were talking about. That's who they knew as their personal God. That's who they were confiding in. The God we serve can rescue us from your roaring furnace and anything else you might cook up, O King. They were confident because of God's promises in their life. They were confident that even if you threw us into the furnace, you were confident what would happen. But you know what? Even if he doesn't, it wouldn't make any difference. You know why? Because we've already decided that we're not going to serve your gods or worship anything, your statues that you have built up. They already knew. They had already made a decision. And sometimes, even at this young age in your lives, we need to make decisions that show that we're committed to God, that we're going to follow him. Let's hope this works again. Yes, so. Here we go. Nebuchadnezzar, his face purple with anger, cut off Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He ordered the furnace fired up 7 times hotter than usual. He ordered some strong men from the army to tie them up, hands and feet, and throw them into the roaring furnace. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, bound hand and foot, fully dressed from head to toe, were pitched into the roaring fire. Because the king was in such a hurry and the furnace was so hot, flames from the furnace actually killed the men who carried Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, while the fire raged around Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Wow! God! You're not saving them? You're not going to save them, God? You're going to let them fall into the furnace? Why don't you just take out Nebuchadnezzar? Come on, your God is greater, our God is more powerful. Why don't you just blow up the furnace? Why, God? Why aren't you doing anything? He let them burn? God, do you mean I might have to tell the truth? Do you mean I might have to tell my friend to ask him for forgiveness? God, do you mean I might actually have to say no to that girl or no to that guy? No. God, do you mean that perhaps I actually got to say no when they offer me drugs? Do you mean I'm going to have to say no when they offer me alcohol? Or when they invite me to that party? God, do you mean I'm going to have to stand up and say something and do something? And you're still not going to help me out? You mean I'm going to still have to go through all that and do all those things? Come on, God. I thought you were greater. I thought you were going to do this for me. I thought you were going to help me out. I thought, you could solve any problem. That's sometimes how we feel. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego still had to do something else. Sometimes you will need to trust God through the difficult times. At school, with your families, with your relationships, with guys and girls. You're going to have to trust Him through the difficult times. God, do you mean I'm going to have to follow you even if my parents aren't Christian? God, do you mean I'm going to have to follow you even if my parents die? God, do you mean I got to give you everything before you do something for me? Tough question. Are we really trusting God the whole way? Are we truly trusting Him the whole way? Or as long as He gets us out of what we think is a difficult time, are we okay to trust Him that far? God, do you mean I'm going to have to maybe ask for forgiveness from that girl or that guy that put me on the spot and called me names? God, does it mean that even if everything doesn't go my way, I got to still do it? Oops. Sorry, next one. That one. This is where I want you guys to get excited, okay? You were singing something earlier, and I'm going to get you to sing it again. Suddenly, King Nebuchadnezzar jumped up in alarm. Remember, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are in a roaring furnace, right? With fire raging all around them. Suddenly, King Nebuchadnezzar jumped up in alarm and said, "Didn't we throw 3 men bound hand and foot into the fire?" Okay, this is what I need you guys to do. You guys are going to give me some musical background. Ready? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what could stand against? Do this. If our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then who could stand against? And if our God is for us, don't get tired. Who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then who could stand against? They said, "That's right, O king. There were supposed to be only 3. But look," he said, "I see 4 men walking around freely in the fire, completely unharmed. And the 4th man looks like the Son of God. And if our God is with us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is for us, then who could stand against?" Our God is great. You see, God comes in just when we need Him, just in the right time. He won't let you go. His promises are true. They are forever. They never change. When we think we've got it all figured out, when we think, "Oh yeah, this is how God's going to do it for me," He might give you a surprise. And He might say, "No, I'm going to get you to go to that fire. I'm going to get you to walk through that fire. I'm going to get you to have to ask for forgiveness. I'm going to have to get you to say no sometimes to certain things. I'm going to ask you to stand up and count your purity as really a priority. I'm going to get you to stand up and make a decision for me." But you know what He promises? That when you get placed in the fire, when you're going through the fire, what? God's with us, right? That's awesome, isn't it? Our God is greater. That's right. Then He goes on and said, Nebuchadnezzar went to the door of the roaring furnace and called in, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the high God, come out here." Let's do that again. Servants of the high God, awesome, come out here. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego walked out of the fire.
Oh, wow.
That's right, they walked out of the fire. All the important people, the government leaders and king's counselors gathered around to examine them and discovered that the fire hadn't so much as touched the 3 men. Not a hair singed, not a scorch mark on their clothes, not even the smell of fire on them. Nebuchadnezzar said, "Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego." He sent his angel and rescued his servants who trusted in him. They ignored the king's orders and laid their bodies on the line rather than serve or worship any god but their own. Listen to this. Therefore, I issue this decree. Anyone, anywhere, of any race, color, or creed, who says anything against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego will be ripped to pieces, limb from limb, and their houses torn down. There has never been a God, let's just say it, who can pull off a rescue like this. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. God is good. God is faithful. Our God is greater. Who's God? Can you say our God? Say our God. Who's God? Who's God? He is greater than your problem. He is greater than the situation you guys might face at school this year. You know what? Let me tell you something. When we're faithful to God, when we know Him, when we learn to serve Him, when we get to know Him, you know what? This is like the cherry on top. You guys ever had a sundae? What's the best part of the sundae? The cherry on top. Whoa, sorry. Amanda has a certain. What's the best part of the sundae?
We get to put, you get to put like, sprinkles, chocolate,
Yeah.
and strawberries.
Whoa, now we're getting good. And that's what God does. That's what God does. We went through the fire, but kind of just as a little something, He blesses us. I'm thinking, if I were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, I'd be pretty pumped. I just came out of a roaring furnace. I'm cool. Thank you, God. I'm good. I'm good with this. I'm all right. This is amazing. I just went through the fire. I don't smell like smoke. I haven't even, at barbecues, I come out smelling like smoke. I go through a roaring furnace. I don't even smell like smoke. I'm good with that, God. Thank you. But no, He is so amazing. Our God is so great. He's so faithful. His promises are so true that He goes and He blesses them. And people around you, at your schools, wherever you go this year, when we stand up for God and do something for Him, they will see how God is blessing you guys. And they will take notice of that. If we're faithful, if we stand up for Him, they will take notice. And you know what? It's kind of like the song says. People are going to come asking, how great is our God? Everyone wants to know how great our God is. Sing with me, because everyone will want to know how great our God is. When we start taking a decision for Him, you'll see how amazing that is. People will start getting really attracted to you for different reasons than what you thought. You know what? There's going to be something different about you. There's something different, something special about you. You don't do what everybody else is doing. You don't bow down. You don't necessarily are up on all the movies or up on all the brands or anything like that. But you know what? You love and you care and you have compassion. Why? Because God has the same thing. He loves you. He has compassion for you. He loves each and every one of us. His promises, I have plans for you. I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and give you a future and a hope. He is amazing. He's God. God is greater than anything that we can imagine. You guys believe it? You guys believe what I just found? Let me tell you something. Shh. You know how the pastor always does that? Shh. Don't tell anybody. Guess what? Okay, big secret, guys. You guys, come on, lean forward, lean forward. Ready? Lean forward. Those people back there? Yeah. The parents? The parents? Oh, what? Hey, there's a parent here! Security! Listen, secret. Oh. Sunday school. Listen. Your parents, your family, all those people out there, they're going to go through the same things you are. And they're going to feel the same things that you feel. They're going to feel nervous. They're going to feel isolated. They're going to feel tempted in many ways. They're going to feel like they have nowhere to turn. They're feeling that. They've felt that. They've experienced that. What can we tell them? Our God is with us, and who could ever stop us? And if our God is for us, then who could stand against? You know that? You guys are no different. Your parents are no different. The grandparents celebrating Grandparents' Day today are no different. We all will experience those feelings. like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, where they've been removed, they felt lonely, they felt isolated, they felt fear. But you know what? They also believed in God. They believed in His promises. Maybe not quite like Matthew, but they were willing to fall back on His promises. They were willing to fall on His promises because He's faithful. He is faithful. You guys can count on it. Your parents are saying amen because they've been through that. You know what? They've been through the same feelings that you've had. They've gone through a lot of the same situations that you've had. Sure, they haven't watched Dark Knight Rises and Spider-Man and stuff like that. But trust me, yeah, I know. It's some of the same feelings they've experienced. And God has been faithful with them, so God's going to be faithful with us. And God was faithful with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Man, in the fire, in the thick of it, I was surrounded by raging fire. Who shows up? God shows up. That's right. Our God is greater. He's the one. He's the only one who can do this. Listen. Almost done.
Turn off my sister's fire with my hand. Like,
Just like that? Listen, we're going to do one last thing here. Can I ask you guys to stand? I'm going to ask la congregación, por favor, si se puede parar. We're just going to do something. If you guys are patient, just a little bit longer, you guys have done great. High fives. High fives. David. Yeah, buddy. High fives. You guys have done really good, really awesome. You guys going to remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Yeah? You're going to remember that God is with us in the roaring furnace? And we know that God is greater? Yes? Okay. Listen, I just want to do something. Give me 5 minutes. I'm going to change the channel. Yo sé que en esta mañana ha sido en inglés el culto y tal vez dirigido a la juventud, pero nuestra esperanza es que el mensaje es el mismo. El mensaje es el mismo para la juventud que es para los adultos. Aunque andes por el fuego, aunque andes por las aguas profundas, el Señor está con nosotros. Él nunca nos deja ni nos abandona. En este año queremos bendecir a esta juventud, queremos bendecir a estos niños, pero también queremos bendecir nuestros hogares. Así que voy a pedir algo en los próximos momentos y me van a poner atención. Si usted tiene su hijo, su hija aquí, por favor, pase. Y yo quiero que ponga su brazo alrededor de su hijo o su hija. No le diga nada, no empiece a orar, por favor. Vamos a poner el brazo alrededor de nuestro hijo, nuestra hija. Si pueden venirse a acercarse. If you're a young person, your parents are back there, you can go with your parent as well. Pero aquí esperamos, no quiero que ningún hijo se quede sin ningún padre o sin una hija. We can do that. Just put your arm, pongan su brazo alrededor, sostengan a su hijo o su hija. Sosténganos. Hey guys, and I'm going to ask you guys just to hold your parents. Don't want you to say anything to them. Don't want you to ask them anything. I just want you guys to hold each other. Hold one another. Los que están aquí tal vez no tienen sus hijos, por favor, recuerden sus hijos en este momento. Van a necesitar de nuestra oración, nuestro apoyo en este año de escuela. Ya pueden oír un poco. En unas pocas palabras, si uno pone atención, se da cuenta mucho de lo que puede estar pasando en la vida de un jovencito. Si somos atentos. Y si me permiten otra palabrita nada más. Me venía a la mente el ladrillito que el pastor estaba hablando. Y la visión de grande deseo, a expandir la visión y el alcance de la Iglesia Evangélica Hispana. Si nuestros hogares no están modificados en la fundación que es Jesucristo, estos ladrillos no significan nada. Y es un desafío para mí, yo soy padre ahora también, que nuestros hogares sean fundados y sean edificados en el fundamento que es Jesucristo. Our God is greater. Amen. Our God is stronger. Y voy a pedir, mientras estén así, sosteniéndose, aguántense un momentito. Y así como están, la hermana Lourdes, la superintendente de la escuela dominical, orará por nosotros.
Bendito Dios, aleluya. Si todos nos ponemos en posición de oración, si podemos levantar nuestras manos aquí adelante a todos estos niños, a los padres también. Bendito Dios, Padre Celestial. Yo te doy gracias, Padre, esta mañana, bendito Dios, porque hemos aprendido que tú eres el Dios fiel, el Dios bueno, bendito Dios. Tu fidelidad no se ha quedado allá atrás con nuestros abuelos o nuestros antepasados, o allá en las historias que escuchamos, Señor. Tu fidelidad es hasta el día de hoy, es presente y para siempre, bendito Padre Celestial. En esta mañana, Señor, mira, paséate aquí por la niñez de la iglesia de Radio, por nuestra juventud de Radio, bendito Dios. Oramos, Padre amado, para que tu Espíritu Santo los rodee, Señor, los proteja, bendito Dios, que ellos puedan experimentar, Señor, así como nosotros en un momento de nuestras vidas lo hemos experimentado, que tú eres el Dios bueno, el Dios fiel, ese Dios fuerte que va delante de nosotros, Señor, que ellos también puedan, Señor, tener esa experiencia, Señor, de acuerdo a su edad, Padre amado. Mira, Señor, allá afuera está todo trastornado, nuestra niñez, nuestra juventud se expone a grandes desafíos, a grandes cambios, Señor. Se escuchan las noticias muy devastadoras que a veces nos asustan, Señor, como padres que somos, o como tías, como familia, o como hermanos en Cristo que somos, que pertenecemos a una comunidad, bendito Dios. Yo te pido que tus ángeles acompañen cada día cuando ellos salgan de la casa, cuando salgan de la escuela, Señor. Rodéalos con tu poder, rodéalos con tu amor, Señor. Que ningún dardo venenoso los alcance, Padre amado, bendito Dios. Que ellos puedan, Señor, ser victoriosos en el lugar donde se encuentran, bendito Padre. Que cada domingo, que cada hogar que tengan, Señor, su altar familiar, que ellos puedan asimilar la palabra, bendito Dios, y como Abel dijo, que ellos también puedan resistir, decir no a lo que es no, bendito Dios, que ellos puedan aprender a ser sal y luz donde ellos se encuentren. Oh, bendito Padre Celestial, y también por los padres de familia, por las madres, por los abuelos, por cada uno de los miembros, Señor. Darles esa confianza, Señor, que tú eres el Dios que estás con ellos también, Padre. Que tú eres el Dios, Señor, que responde, que ellos, sus oraciones son escuchadas, bendito, bendito Dios. Oh, Señor, en este momento te damos gracias y bendecimos. La vida de nuestra juventud, de nuestra niñez de propio está en tus manos, bendito Padre. Su futuro está en tus manos, Señor. Oh Padre amado, glorifícate en medio de estos tiempos, bendito Dios. En el nombre de Jesús, gracias por ser ese Dios bueno y fiel, bendito Dios. Gracias, oramos en el nombre de Cristo, oramos en el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo. En el nombre de Jesús, amén, Señor, amén.
Sí.